guys, welcome back to the Rice Camera Action Podcast. I'm your host as always, Geoff Gaudet. I'm here once again with one of my entertainer friends that I've met in Seoul. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ariane, Desgagnes-Leclerc. I also have a French-sounding name.
Yeah.
Yours should be
Yeah,
Gaudet,
so
right?
I'm Geoffrey Gaudet, anglophone, but en français, Geoffrey Gaudet. Yeah, so, but I don't really even, I just go by Jeffy G.
I mean, that's fine too.
Yeah, so, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
So yes, I've been living around 10 years in Korea, and most of that time has been spent acting. Mm-hmm. So I do acting gigs, and sometimes I do one of the little jibby jibs on the side, but most of the stuff is acting.
Acting, yeah. So this is one of my professional acting friends too. She's famous for many dramas, which
famous,
which I have not got my foot in yet.
That should tell you a lot.
But it's I don't fit into the stereotype of what Koreans want to cast as a father role or like a normal person. I'm more like the goofy uncle, I tell people.
But if they don't cast the goofy uncle, it's because they don't do things that deserve being cast.
Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about this. It's always about they don't cast the goofy uncle because it always comes down to money.
True.
Yeah. So you've been in Korea now 10 years. Mm-hmm. Did you actually come to Korea to be an actress?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
But I felt that was very pretentious to just be like, hey, I'm going to bring all my stuff and like push myself in the face of people who don't know anything about me and just do what I want. I felt like, okay, let's just go to the country, see I can work legally and something that I can deal with, that I don't dislike that much, and see if I like living the lifestyle, if I like the culture, and if it's enough for me, if I feel like I can go by with it. That was my first test.
Now, interesting. Actually, before you came in Korea, you were in another Asian country, weren't you?
Yes, I actually traveled to a few. I lived in Japan for a year. I did a student exchange in 2000, and that's a long time ago.
Don't age yourself.
That's when I was young and beautiful. So not a long time ago, right?
Were you able to do any entertainment in there or anything?
Actually, I kept being asked and I didn't find it didn't make sense for me because I was like, why? Not that I didn't want to. It was like, why would they ask me? I look like nothing.
Right.
Self-esteem zero when you're young and your best friend was the most gorgeous thing in the world. So you're never used to people looking at you.
Well, mostly like the famous models they were just found in shopping malls by recruiters like Kate Moss.
Really?
Yeah. So
in Japan, they do that.
Yeah,
they talk to you in when you're shopping or when you're on the street. But I was a student, and that was not allowed. I mean, I could have gone illegally, but that was it didn't make sense to me. I guess I was too by the book by that time.
But then you saw, the land of the morning calm. Sorry, not the rise. The land of the morning calm as your place that you wanted to step outside your comfort zone and become an entertainer.
Well, first I actually lived in China, and then I lived in Taiwan.
Oh, geez, okay. So how many languages are you fluent in?
5. Let's say I could get really well by with 4, and the 5th Mandarin. Yeah. I used to be more fluent in Mandarin than I am in Korean, but I had Mandarin is a tonal language, so if you don't use it, your tongue just doesn't want to do the things anymore. Sure. So I would need to live there a little bit. So what made me come to Korea was I was done with studying. I didn't have the excuse of student exchange or anything. I was like, okay, I have to do it myself. Have to pay for my things. So let's find a contract that works for me. And I was like, okay, so this is my decision, my money, everything's going there. Yeah. Before that, my parents were, for student exchanges and stuff, they were helping me. But for this, it was my decision. I was like, well, hopefully it's going to work. So that's why I didn't go right away thinking, I can do acting. I was like, let's try.
Well, back in Quebec, did you do any performance arts?
Mostly theater. I did a lot of stage. I did dance, tap dance. I did everything, choirs, music, we call it's not you have English, you have musicals, but we call musical comedy as soon as they're speaking in French. I don't know if there's that distinction in English.
I don't think so. No.
Right?
Yeah,
anything, it's just musical, right?
Yeah.
We have that. So I was doing what we call musical comedy. So there are some talking and singing. Because of the talking, it becomes kind of a play with singing.
Yeah.
So I did some of that. Yeah, something like that.
Musical play, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. So now the 10 years, how are you enjoying it?
It's a lot of up and downs,
Yeah.
Like freelancer, like I've been freelancing for 4 years, 3 to 4 years now. And so it's always ups and downs, but I still think there's a lot more ups than being like tied to a company.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the thing in Korea. When you work in entertainment, there aren't really like companies that are going to be like, look, I'm going to be your agency. You know, this is the car we provide for you, or like you will have to like deduct your money and just pay for whatever that you use in the company. But we will promote you. We will make you have work. We'll send you to auditions. This this format.
Yeah.
I think there's one company that does that. I know one person, so I can't say it doesn't exist. So I know one person that has like a company that actually works for them. But apart from that, it's basically agents contacting you.
Yeah.
So it's always the push and pull of they have control of everything. And it's a give and take for you. Do you take it or not? Because that's how it works for now.
Yeah, for the people listening, so the contrast between her and I right now, I'm sponsored by a company, so I have an E6 visa, while she has an F visa because she's been here much longer than me and met more of the requirements than me, so she's allowed to work freelance. So she's not under the protection, but also she's not also given as many offers too because she's not sponsored by an entertainment company.
In my case, the agencies I've been with that have sponsored my visas before, it was phases, but it was mostly like I wouldn't see them work for me. It was more like they got work, they would send the profiles that they thought fit. And I fit a few of those. So I had a few very high years, but I could tell that they weren't like actively looking for things for me. So it was like, if I have to make all the effort anyway and they take money from my work contracts.
Like a percentage.
It didn't make sense to me if there wasn't an alternative.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I worked legally. That was my thing.
Why pay them if they're not working hard for you?
Exactly.
Or why allow them to take a percentage of your money when they're not motivated to actually get you the money themselves.
And there's also the duality of like you have your company taking money and they don't want to work through agents who also take a quote from the big. So like it gets like divided and divided again. So they're like, we don't want to work with agents, but then if they don't provide other work, then you get nothing because those agents, for example, could be the ones that give you work.
Yeah, there's a lot of middlemen, but it's very vague what we know.
And it's not well explained.
Yeah.
Most people, when they start, like me, I had to look for a lot. I started at the bottom trying to, I worked on a TV show helping translate on set as well as manage others to actually get a grasp of how it was working. I was very lucky in that regard at the very beginning. But apart from that, it's like if you don't speak Korean on the get-go and try to get in the system, it's so easy to be taken advantage of, and you can't really blame the agents for that because that's how it works. If you can make more money, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's even that, like the agents will even try to get more money hiring people, not even knowing if the talent, the actor, can speak Korean or not. They're just like they're basically they'll hire one of their staff as the interpreter, so they get a more money that they could
to pay the staff
to build the production team, and then they show up. Like this happens to me because my Korean's good, your Korean's good as well. We don't need interpreters on set, and they're like going, "Oh, you speak Korean." And then like I've just seen managers they just sit on the stool for 9 hours.
Yeah, and you know that like they're paid.
Yeah, they're being paid. Yeah.
But it's not their fault either. It's like lack of communication, and I feel like the image casting thing is really detrimental to that aspect because they just look at the photo and then they don't know like any of the experience. They know your name, your age, your height, and like that's it. Most of them, they don't really ask if you speak the language or if you actually have acting experience. If you fit the visuals they're looking for, they're just trying you on. And then you hear people complaining about acting skills. And you're like, well, that's not what you actually asked on the resume. Yeah. So, like, you had choices. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, like, this happens to me, like, probably, like, every 6 months I'll be on set. And, like, I actually show that I have acting talent better than the other people, and they're like, "Oh, wow, we didn't know you could do that.
We didn't know you can act, but we hired you as an actor."
Like, and then they're going, oh, and then basically I'll be that casting agent will have me for another job the next month. He's like, actually, the production team was very impressed by you, so they wanted to have you back. I'm like, yeah, like I'm not hiding under a rock. I feel like I'm even being like I'm being like kind of like sabotaged or collusion, because there's a lot of casting agents that just actually hire their friends a lot too.
True. And that's why it's good to be friends with your casting agents. Yeah. That's another aspect. Yeah. It's like, if you know how the system works, there are frustrating things, but you can also learn to work. Like, if you think it's worth it. Like, I've been here 10 years. There have been ups and downs. I can complain about things that I think could be improved. But if I'm here, it's because I know that I'm okay with the amount of work I need to do to, like, work within the system. And like, of course I wanted to improve for me, for all of the people working here, but I feel like it's also like there are always ways to like see through.
I took like just a cheap job over the last weekend too. It was just for like background stuff, but you know, I was just a blank amount, like 200 for like a night shoot for like 5 hours.
I mean, if it ended in 5 hours, you're actually lucky, because those shoot could go forever.
Well, I actually, because even that, like the casting staff were like the interpreters, the managers, they were all little girls, and they couldn't raise their voice to get everyone's attention.
So you helped everyone.
So I stepped up and I just did the attendance. Like, come on, guys, let's get it going, let's go. So it was originally supposed to be 9 hours, but we wrapped it up in 5. But
when people work well, shoots don't last that long.
But at one point, they were like, okay, like they had the crowd shot, and then they're going, okay, we're going to have like kind of like a focus for reaction. So we want like good actors in the middle row. And I was in the middle row. I'm like, wait, I'm not getting paid enough for them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I went hiding. And then
people don't think that makes sense when they're on set. They're like, why would you go? We know you can do it. It's like, well.
Yeah, so there's like there were some fresh people that were very naive and just wanted to like, oh, I'll do it, and then I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm not getting paid, and we're all making the same money. I don't need my face somewhere for
closest.
And so I ended up like just hiding it, like getting up, hiding in the background, and then they go, hey, where's Geoff? We like going, you're good at reactions and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to do it, and I just tilted my head down.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think needs to be explained to people who might not know about entertainment as much. It's like, it seems counterintuitive. Be like, why would you not want your face there? Why wouldn't you not want more screen time?
Right.
When you have a role you're paid for, yes, you will go for all the screen time. If you have to fix your line, you make them longer, not shorter. You try to interact and have the most you can in that role. Yeah. However, if you are paid for something really, really low that is background, it's like basically more than the minimum, lesser than the minimum, then you need to stay in there. Or if you show your face, you need to on that spot be like, well, I need to be paid for this.
Well,
and then you cause conflict.
You're normally not going to get that money.
Exactly. On the spot. That's why you're like, do I look for conflict? Or do I respect myself, even though, yes, in the long run, my face is less exposed, like people can see it less, like in these kind of jobs.
Well, yeah, like when I first got into the business here, I just didn't know. I would just, if I did background, I would like, and they would always be putting me like placing me in front of the camera.
Me too. I liked it at
first. I never spoke up. And then like I started like talking to other people and get their experiences. Like before COVID, like I was doing just any job. But then, slowly during COVID, like when jobs got less and less, but I also got like into the chat groups. I never actually asked for image roles. It was either background a sub model or main model.
You did enough of that to not have to do it anymore.
Yeah, but a lot of the times when I was cast as the background extra, they would put me in the front, and I was more of an image role.
Yeah, as soon as you're kind of like longer, we can recognize you. That shouldn't be extra.
Yeah, I only thought there was 3 categories, like I just said, background, sub, and main. But there's also the image, and like, oh shit, I should have been asking for more money. So like I lost a lot of money up to now. I'm like asking for the image roles, and because I could back it up. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like I actually have done it. I know I can do the job well. Yeah. This is what you're asking for, so this is what you should pay.
Yeah.
Or more if you want.
Yeah. So I always I could back it, like going, you're gonna. They're like, oh, we have a background. I'm like, going, listen, on the set, I'm going to be placed as an image. Like going, and like my scenes are never cut from the movie because I've always done a great job. I'm not one of these dickheads hiding in the back playing on their phones.
I do the things.
Yeah, when I'm on the set, I give 100%. But I never thought about asking for more money.
That's the thing. It's like the knowledge. Of course, you can't know everything when you start, but like be open to learn more and like learn from the experience from the beginning. Of course, agents are going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Why not try to make more money for less? Like it makes sense on a business point of view. And for us, we need to haggle the way up.
Well, that's what's happening too, because a lot of the agents are depending on the lack of information that we know. So I didn't know about it. I never asked about it because they never mentioned it because they just kept it. And also the usage, they keep that very vague. And
in Korea, it's hard with the usage, so it's.
Right. But even now, this is something that's really pissing me off because now that the doors are open and people are able to come back to Korea, there's a lot of students or people on vacation that just want to have that Korean experience, and so they take.
I want to film with my oppa.
Yeah. I just want to be on a Korean drama set. Like
once in my life,
and they just and the person's like, oh, like we'll give you, $100 for 12 hours, and you get to be on the set with it. I'm like, oh, yeah, 100. I get to meet my oppa, my dream oppa, and be on set with him, and get money.
And that also causes issues because those people don't know that, for example, if they take any photo there, they have to wait until the show is out because they could spoil. Like some people have filmed parts of like music videos and uploaded them before they were even out. There were issues of that, and we are blamed for that. And it's really a shame because those people were not informed. So if they are, like, for example, if agencies are okay hiring students, it's their thing. I'm not going to, like, do anything about it personally. I just might do my work. At least take the time to tell everyone as if they knew nothing all the things that are important for you that will have repercussions. So that's the thing. Like if you make that choice, at least top it off so not everyone's screwed in the mail.
Well, the students shouldn't even be doing a lot of these filmings too.
Legally, it's not okay.
Yeah, legally okay. Because like I'm on an E6 visa, so I'm under like E6 are sponsored under the Ministry of Arts and Entertainment and Culture. So that's a division, a ministry of South Korea. It's basically the equivalent of an English teacher, which is under the Ministry of Education. So they're sponsored for their educational
specific reason.
Yeah, specific reason, as well as I'm sponsored. I've had to prove myself, like I've had to show that I have credentials for this sponsorship. So, but students are not like, so these are two divisions of the branches of government of Korea. So for someone to do that, there has to be it's a specialized employment. It's the occupation. So to hire students I've actually like read about read students' comments on like Facebook where they did like a YouTube reaction thing, and maybe they went to Jeonju, like down south in Seoul,
or they had to pay like fines, right?
Yeah, they had like mukbang, and like what happened? The reaction company paid them $200.
$200.
Yeah.
For transit.
Just for like a day to eat food. And but then the company didn't file their taxes properly. So then they got busted.
And everyone that worked for them in that year, right?
So they got busted, and then basically they disclosed all the foreign talent, their alien registration number, And then these students, when they went to go renew their student visa, like going, hey, you owe us $2 million for working outside the parameters of your visa. You're here to study, not to be acting. So they're going, I got paid $200 and now I have to pay $2,000.
Yep. Well, when you do something illegal, it makes sense that you have something coming back. Yeah. And like even when I was on an e-visa, I had a lot of English educational videos that I did, like dancing, a little like speaking Korean and English, like a little speaky with like hand dolls. What do you call that?
Puppets.
Puppets, yes. So see, I do English educational and I can't say puppets. Yeah. But anyway, we can talk about this later.
I have like British friends that have to pretend that they're American for the educational purposes.
That's the thing. So for that, I had to ask for a specific visa for this, because educational stuff, you need to be qualified. I had to have a degree, which I had, yay! And I had to have all the qualification that a teacher has.
Oh, okay.
To be, because it was a official EBS stuff. You can look it up. It's like it was like during COVID they used videos with the books they use.
Okay.
So I think they switched. I had more work during the beginning of COVID than less, because more people left and. All the educational stuff was on screen. So I did a lot of these things. And because they were like formal for the government, like I had to have a visa for this.
Yeah, I did an EBS show once, but that was also, it was just garbage.
My show was fun though.
Mine was called Mission English. It was done by a Korean production team where no one spoke English on. And they didn't, they would just write the content for each episode without consulting me. And then I would show up. And
you'd have to fix everything
there. And
I'd
be like going, oh, there's the grant, this is not correct. And they're going, we made props for this, so it's too late to go back on it.
Well, with mine, it was okay. Like, it was basically phonics. It was for very, very little babies. Yeah. And we had those huge handheld puppets that were really cool. It felt like one of those kids show like that we actually watched back home. And I was I'm so excited. I'm like in that kids show. It was so cute. Yeah. I was just like doing the intro and ending and one like phonic thing in the middle. There were puppet characters and like reading things that I wasn't doing. Cool. But I was like, that's a cool show. And so I was pretty happy.
I mean, there's lots of opportunity. Let's jump to another thing. So in your 8 years as an actress, what's the best project? What's the project did you enjoy the most being part of?
Well, it's hard. Well, as an actor, every little bits of acting I do is always my favorite, because that's what I want to do. That's what I thrive on, making characters. So I had really a lot of travel shows that I loved that I did for years, like some for 2 years, and educational shows like that one I mentioned, and a few TV talk shows that were really fun to be like part of.
Panel shows and all that?
Yes, those are really fun because, well, it's consistent work and you see the same people everywhere. It's kind of still entertainment, but also feels a bit like a company because you meet the same people over while you're working. So you feel like you're part of something.
Yeah.
And that you don't really have in acting because they give you a script, you audition, then you show up there, you do your thing. And unless you were like one of the main characters, you're not talking with everyone every day on like a weekly basis. So in my case, I still there were those 2 big shows I did before. One, you will have heard too, Mr. Sunshine, in which I was in 8 episodes. You were in it too, though.
I did not get it. At that time, I had the C4 with Surprise, and they actually cast me as a judge, but then the dean said, "Look, I need you for next. This is also fucking pisses me off."
So you had to give up that because the visa giver was like, "Well, I need you for this."
Yeah, and I had to renew my visa in 2 weeks, so I couldn't.
That's a bitch move.
You know what? It's not over. I showed up to the set. So I gave up Mr. Sunshine. I showed up to Surprise, angry. I wasn't even on the schedule. Vadim crossed out someone else's name and wrote my name in pencil. They didn't even fucking need me. I have I'll show you a picture of it.
That's mean.
I'll show you a picture of it afterwards.
Yeah, and well, another, if you want, one of my letdowns of Mr. Sunshine is I did not subscribe to the royalties before I did the show. No. I did it after. And the number of re-airs that show had makes me so mad. But yeah, I was on 8 episodes of this. And Jesus Christ. I was like, one of them, one scene was like 5 full minutes, the other 2 full minutes. I had a few very short ones, but I was even in the last episode.
Oh, that's how everyone's been surviving. They signed up to the royalties of Mr. Sunshine.
But not me. So, and after that, this one was fun because I was part of it. I felt like I saw the story evolve, and you know, I kind of could tell what would happen without having the whole script, even because it kept going. But the one that was the most fun to do was a show that was kind of like not watched enough because there was a big scandal over it.
Okay, yeah.
It's called Snowdrop. One of the Blackpink singer was in it, so there was a big hype over it. But some people dissed the show because they said it was making, you know, the story of Korea more beautiful, which I find funny because it wasn't. It wasn't. It was pretty dark. Yeah. So I don't know where that came from, and that's a shame. Because of that, it wasn't big. But I literally had 3 roles in the show because I was kind of a con man. So I was doing acting as me, then as one of the roles I was acting as that character, and then another one. Okay. So there were 3 different personalities, 2 in English, 1 in Korean. So it was really exciting to work with all of this.
Well, yeah, that like it's a shame that show didn't really blow up because that gave you like 3 opportunities to display yourself and your talent.
I mean, it's still good for the portfolio. I keep the files, but it would have been cool. It's funny, like people have recognized me in like the random little snippets I do in other shows. Like recently, it was in Korean, which is cool. More and more Korean speaking roles are given to non-Korean faces. So yes, this is one of the things I was like manifesting for the last few years, and even more. There's like a lot of French-speaking dramas because I've had a lot of auditions. Yeah. So didn't hear from them. So for now, I'm not going to hope for anything. But I had a lot of auditions at the end of last year. They were all in French. So like more and more languages than just English, and more roles than just the mom, the English teacher.
Yeah.
So, but I do get recognized a lot in those English teaching roles.
Yeah. I've really now my big I get a lot of money actually probably from music videos. I don't know why, but it's just I think I'm doing like a music video every other month.
That's cool.
I've already done like 5 this year.
I mean, it makes sense because music video just never stop being made.
Yeah, but it's it's just, they're always getting made. But because more I'm a character actor, I have like a lot of expressions. So I don't need to be audible, just to show my face and all that.
And things will show up in whatever you do there that they will want in the show. That's cool.
Yeah, but another thing you were just thank God you're getting where you're breaking the mold and actually giving foreigners speaking Korean roles. I can speak Korean well, but people don't assume this of me because I have a very strong foreigner role. I was actually talking to one agent, and I was actually talking about Squid Games and internationally the VIPs.
I wish I had been auditioning for this. They didn't audition me.
Yeah. Well, this is
long story.
That'll be the second half. But yeah, I was talking how the VIPs got trashed kind of internationally, and the agents I did the casting for that. And we were speaking in Korean in his car, and he's like, whoa, you actually speak Korean well. He's like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can cast me.
He's like, I didn't know that. He's like, there was a movie that I cast someone that you look very similar to, but he couldn't speak Korean. I wish I would have cast you instead.
This is why it's so important to talk to the agents.
Yeah.
Because they are so used to just see paper and not interacting with any of their talents that they won't do the first step. But if you do, they will remember you.
Yeah. Well, the problem is you're probably at a different level of entertainer than I am.
We can talk about that too.
Yeah. Than I. I'm probably I would say you're an A level. I'm more the B right now. and then there'd be like the C. The C's are more just, you know.
Why did I have like bad words for each of those letters?
The C's would be like there's other actors that have been here a while and like, but they haven't really stepped up. Those are more the model-ish kind of roles, and then the D's
or people that are fine with the amount or have other things on the side like that they don't need.
Yeah, like just like like hobbyists. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the D's are just the new people. So I'm like the B's. Like I have kind of a reputation, but like they hired the A actor, and like where they could have hired a B actor that actually had A actor skills, and they actually checked more boxes.
That's the thing. It's like, and also there's that thing in Korea about the stigma that is a shame, really. Mm-hmm. It's like anywhere else, I feel like if you do extra, it's still work. It's still keeping engaged with the entertainment industry. So whatever you do, however long you've been doing work and what your grade is shouldn't matter. But here, as soon as you do extra work, they're going to be like, oh, that's your level.
Yeah. What's the Korean word for parasite? I get like the movie Parasite. Gisaengchum. Yeah. Okay. Gisaengchum. The rich father, he actually did 18 years of extra work before he had his breakout.
But then if you do break out and then you do extra work again, then they will see you as, oh, you can only do that.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get out of the extra work, you will not be cast by agent in the extra work unless you ask.
Yeah.
Because they know that, and they know that if you're seen on extra sets, the producers will be like, well, that person's an extra, she's not an actor.
Yeah.
And there's that stigma that's like so weird that like, so you can't, it's sort of like you kind of if you have a visa that allows it, you kind of have to do other work if you want to make acting work, because you only get the good roles that it's not enough to pay for like a year's worth of salary.
This is what frustrated, because I did like I abandoned like in 2019, like because there's like when I started realizing how stuff was working and all that stuff, and I just that's also when I stopped doing Surprise.
You felt used.
Because I had done Surprise for up to that time like 2 years. And then I was
working against you.
I was on set too, and they were like, "Oh, you're here. Why are you doing an extra? Why are you doing extras? Like, you had such a good audition." And someone went, "Surprise!" I heard them. I'm like, "Oh, fuck me." And then then someone else I know, he had recently just switched over to entertainer, and he got cast for a big role for a movie, and he couldn't really be edited out as a crucial character. They made a big set and for him, and it's a key element to the movie, and then they filmed it and he got his money, and then 3 months later he got a phone call from his casting agent saying, "Hey, why didn't you tell us you were on Surprise? The director just saw you," and he's very upset because these movie production teams, they want to show that they have like high quality talent.
And then if they see you on a show that is seen as like cheaper quality, but that's the thing. That's the thing that I find a shame about that stigma, because Surprise has been going on forever, and it's actually a good starting point for anyone who doesn't know acting.
It helped me a lot.
Exactly. Could be a start for anyone. Because you've been there doesn't mean that you can't be here.
So going back to 2019, I just said, listen, I'm getting out of Surprise. I'm like going, hey, don't cut. I want to do like speaking roles, like sub actor
better roles, because I know I can do them.
I can do them, like, and you've done that, and like so like that, and then COVID happened, and I took 2 years just struggling, and then I had to break down and say, hey, I need money. Can
you cast me some extra? Yeah. So that's
I did kick myself in the teeth now, but again, I can move forward too.
But also there's different types of extras as well. If you're like music video extras, they don't see you as like extra the same way as TV show extras.
I do. Like it's music. The music videos I've done, it's
image role.
Image role. I'm on set by myself.
Doing your thing.
Yeah, and then
Can you talk about which one? Are there some out?
So one that just came out at the start of this month, June, was Taeyong Shalala.
Ooh, I'll look it up.
Yeah. They actually cast me as God. So I'm like,
I mean, of course.
Well, it's like a god, and like it's basically he has like a bunch of computers in front of him, and then he gets hacked. So I'm like panicking because like the main actor hacked God's computer, and
I like it.
He screwed around with the time and all that, like different ages and all that stuff. So I'm just like going slamming like that, and then like I just close it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Music videos have so much stuff, so like it's nice to know people in the story, because a lot of it doesn't make it through the screen, but it's been talked about.
Yeah, there was another one like Extraordinary Heroes. I actually signed up more for the extra, but then there was me and 10 other foreigners, and they cut all the foreigners' scenes except mine.
Then they should pay you more if they cut 10 people.
I didn't know. I've already been paid for it, and then a month later seeing the final, because they were so behind on it. Like it was supposed to be like a 1-day shoot, but they were I was actually supposed to like I showed up and like going, okay, actually 2 people, you'll be security guards, so you'll stay longer, and you'll get extra money. But then they were filming so late, everyone stayed longer, and they cut my final scenes. Like it was basically in the bus. There was like a verbal contract. You guys will be staying longer, so I'll compensate you for staying longer. But then everyone else stayed longer, so everyone just got OT, and I didn't get my compensation for staying longer. And they basically cut.
You didn't come back to that agent after?
I don't care.
Sometimes it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. This is my first time interacting, and then the final product. So yeah,
the first few times you kind of have to let it go to just see how it goes and how you can deal with it.
I do say that a lot too when in the negotiation period.
This has happened, so I don't let it out. If you're going to use my image, we will change the rates.
Yeah. So because there is like a lot of us are now like teaming up together, and we're actually telling the productions like, oh, this is our rates.
It's good because they know the rates. They're just used to us not knowing them. So like informing each other is a positive. We'll make a positive wave, because like if we're all getting paid as we're worth, we're gonna be more motivated to work better. It's gonna take less hours, so it's gonna take less money for the production crew as well. So it's if everyone gets better stuff, better money, everything goes better.
Yeah. So like usually it's just like it's always the back and forth. So for this guy, it's usually for like the music videos, or like I go, okay, half a day, okay, 700 for image, and they go, oh, that's too high can you do 500? I'm like going, listen, 600, but like there's rates, like going, and they're going, okay. I'm like, I don't like I'm budging because this is my first time.
And you're like, technically is like, okay, this is the rate, but it should be times whatever for the usage, because music videos, like, how do you rate usage for a music video? They don't stop using the music video.
They don't stop using the music video, so I just do, but it's also. Like the music video is, but also based on its popularity, it'll disappear.
Of course, people will not see it as much because.
Yeah, like even when you do a commercial and it's like on online usage only, and it's like
people stop watching it at some point.
They'll say, okay, 3-month usage. Well, that means they're just domestic. They're paying for the promotion for 3 months, but sometimes they don't remove the video half the time.
They leave it there. It's just like they're not going to pay to promote it anymore.
Yeah, they're just until like the next model comes out, they're not.
Yeah, so that's always the dilemma. You're like, well, it's still there, but does it count? Do I still need to ask? But like, it's really the usage for them to pay and stuff. Oh, those legalities.
So it is, but anyways, it's growing up in popularity, so that's at least something I could do.
I mean, that's cool. I'm gonna look for those videos now.
Wow.
And then you need to get credit for it. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to actually put your name in a thing you do.
Well, like there's been some independent artists that actually reached out to me on Instagram. So last year, I think I did like 2 or 3 artists that reached musicians that were filming their music videos, but they reached out to me on Instagram, and they said they're like, we're like they're like, I'm small, I'm self-producing this myself, so I can only pay you this much. So it was like 500. And I'm like, oh no, that's pretty good. Like I've been on like Big Bang
for
since,
less.
Yeah, like I did like one of the BTS members last year. He came out with his solo album, and the casting agent just was like going 200 for. I know.
This is BTS.
This guy is worth millions of dollars,
and you're probably making more than that.
Yeah, and I think I said this on another podcast. I'm like, if like there wasn't really an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, there was just my phone number and a sign that I won't upload stuff. But I'm like, hey, like I look at his Instagram, he has 34 million followers.
So it's a small but not small.
But if for every 1,000 followers, if I said, hey, if every 1,000 followers gives me 1 penny, I'll disclose some information about his next video, the title of it, and that would have been like $34,000 I could have got. But instead, I just signed my thing, took $200 and said, I'll keep it a secret.
I know.
Yeah, so the money, like there is like the TMZ money that could be out there just exposing stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always good to ask about stuff. So, like, if you know people doing similar work, share information. Like that weird... When I arrived and I started doing acting, there was a thing with agents. They were like, oh, don't tell the others how much you're paid. Or don't tell them the hours. Don't tell them who cast you. It's like... There is no reason for me not to do that except sabotaging the actors. I would rather talk about it so we all learn about it. And for me, if I learn somebody's paid more, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, so I'll see how they work. If I feel like I'm better, I'll know that this is a possibility for next time. I don't
Next time you're on a...
it's not for this. You don't change this product. This project, you agreed on it. It's legal. I'm not here to make trouble. Learning about it is to make my experience better in the future. Like if you've really been ripped off, then maybe you can get mad. But that's not the point of sharing. And I feel like they encourage that like competition between all the actors. Be like, during an audition, we all want to win for sure. But if somebody I know gets it, I'm going to be freaking happy for them.
Yeah, I've gone to auditions and then like I haven't got it, but then I see who got it. I'm like, well... They just had a baby, so I think he needs the money more than I do. So I'll be like, I really wanted it, but, I think he could use the money more than me.
It's rare that I think about it in terms of money when it's acting. Because for me, like, I would probably settle full lower for a good role. And I know it's not a good thing. But it's because if it's something I believe in, that's the thing I thrive on. I will budge less on, like, work that is not acting because I'm like, well, this is really seen as work and less as passion for me. I don't think it's the right attitude to have, but that's a bit how I am. I'm like, I really wanted to do like that role or like be in that drama or that TV show because let's say I read the book or something and I felt like really a big connection and then somebody else I know gets it. I'm gonna be like, that's the only time.
Right now they're casting for Squid Game 2.
Aren't they already done casting and done filming? I was sure it was done.
Well, in like April, I got like the script, like, hey, send in an audition video.
At least you got a script.
Yeah, and then I sent it, they're like, okay, and they said the filming will be done in May and in the fall. And then...
Also, it's not done. Okay.
Yeah, and then, they just announced the Korean actors.
Yeah, recently.
But then recently, like an agent like said, hey, we're looking for 3 like foreign roles. And they sent me, again, the same Squid Game script.
So something went wrong.
Something's happening, but it's like it's.
Because I thought they filmed in the fall. I know somebody that like, I'm somebody that pre-signed an NDA that was like, I'm in this big show. I can't tell you what. And I was like, it has to be that. Yeah. And so that's why I thought it was filmed like last fall.
No, but they're filming right now. Maybe it's another role, but these are 3 specific. Okay, so when I did the originally in the April one, it's just like it was just ran all foreign men basically.
So it's always foreign men.
But this VIP, the one that just recently got sent to me, they were looking for a female, an African male, an African American male, and a Caucasian male. So,
they're trying to add more.
Yeah.
But the thing I find sad is like they have to be specific on who they are casting instead of just it being open casting, and then they can choose from whoever shows up a variety of people.
Yeah.
I find it like it really always irks me that they will go for like upfront before the audition.
Yeah.
Like who they want.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you don't. Of course, you have an idea, but you could get surprised.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, yeah, like usually what's happened, if I go into the studio to audition, well, first I always blow the audition.
Of course.
But then the people that end up getting that role submit video auditions anyways.
That's the thing that like has been like weird with me. Like during COVID, they were like telling us, okay, just send videos. And I think that's nice. And I like to take the time to do the video. At first, I didn't do them really well. I know, sorry, guilty. But now I try to put more work in it. But then after COVID finished, it didn't feel like it made sense to go all the way 2 hours to film a video with them instead of filming it at home and taking my time making it nice. And I'm like, if some people audition in person and some do video, it doesn't... They should just have one or the other, not both, because then it feels like some people really put the effort and some don't.
Well, I feel like when they ask you to submit the video audition, you're probably more similar to the idea of the role that they have in their mind
already. So they just want a confirmation.
But then if you go to the studio audition, it's just random because I've gone to the studio auditions, and it's people all shapes, all sizes, all ages.
So I guess that's the opportunity that they have to be surprised when it's the audition. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's an interesting take. I like that. Okay, I didn't think about it that way.
So I feel like if they're asking for a video audition, then you're probably onto like you're automatically
tipping to the good position.
Second stage, you're a second stager instead of the first stage.
That's good. I'm supposed to send an audition video this week.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be working on this.
And then, a lot of people and like a lot of my
Korean.
Friends, a lot of my friends, when they get the roles, I go to the studio to audition, and then they submit when they show the final product. They got the role instead. It's always they have like the real commercial, and then they have the
audition they did before.
The audition video that they submitted to.
I should
pictures,
do that.
And so I'm like, that's what it is, really.
Although to be honest, to be fair, Mr. Sunshine I got from an in-person audition.
Okay.
And the Snowdrop one I got was from my experience acting video. They didn't even see me.
Yeah.
Like they sent my profile, they liked it. Then I sent my acting, like all the clips of my. That's a good thing to do to just get all the clips of your acting.
I have to update mine. Mine's right now like 7 months old, 8 months.
Yeah,
I
need to add 2 to 3 more dramas to it. But yeah, you just need to get doing it all the time. But watching that was enough for them to be like, okay, that's fine, we'll take that person.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways to be cast.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't read her lines like a robot, or like look up when she's talking, trying to remember stuff. She actually.
Oh yeah, like you'd be like, I'm looking up. It's part of my acting. Oh yeah, the line. Oh, I hate when people do that. I hate when I do that. When I practice, I'm like, don't freaking look up.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're at the 48-minute mark now. It's been going
so many things to say.
I think I'd love to have you back on another time. I'm sure there's other stuff we could talk about.
Anytime.
I even gave you like a prep sheet when I called you, like if we don't have much to talk about, we could talk about this subject or that subject, which we haven't even gotten into. But would you like to promote any of your social media?
Hey, I could, but if you have it in writing, it would help because it's very long. It's basically my name, but my full name, French full name.
Okay.
Ariane Desgagnes-Leclerc, and no space, no accent.
Okay.
So Ariane Desgagnes-Leclerc.
Okay.
So if you remembered that, you're amazing.
And if that's too difficult, there will also be a link at the bottom. Again, my Instagram is Comedy Geoffy. That's comedy COMEDYGEOFFY. Okay. Thank you very much for being a guest on Rice Camera Action.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.